Okay, now I'm going to record a video for the data sheet that goes along with the Mew the Shoe Lab. So the Mew the Shoe Lab demo video is actually separate, where you actually see the lab performed. This is how the data goes onto the data sheet, so you can know how that works. So obviously you would list the group members here in your group, and so I'm just going to list my name here because I'm the only one in my group. And then the first thing I do is list the weight of my shoe, and my shoe weighed approximately 5 newtons. So that's 5 newtons. And then we're not doing any angles on this lab, so you can cross this out on all of them. So, some years we actually do this lab and we have the students do angles, but we're not doing that this year. Now, in terms of the normal force, all you have to do for this is remember that the force mg, which is your weight, is equal to the normal force. So that means this number is going to go over here. Doesn't get any easier than that. This is the friction force that I recorded when I drug my shoe each of the times. And for the first data table, which was just the shoe with its sole on the surface of the lab table, I got 1.0 for my friction force. And then to calculate the mu, I would use the formula that the mu is going to equal the friction force divided by the normal force. So I would take, in this case, 1 divided by 5, and I can do that math in my head and come up with 0.20. And so each time you calculate the mu, that's what you're going to do. So in terms of the second data table, the weight of the shoe, we added a 1 kilogram weight, which has a weight of 9.8 newtons. So we're going to take the weight of the shoe from our first data table, or the weight of the shoe without the added weight, and then add 9.9 to it. So since mine was 5, 9.9 plus 5 is going to give me 14, or 9.8. It's going to give me 14.8 newtons. And that's going to be the weight of my shoe there. Again, my name would go here, or your group members. Degrees is 0. This gets copied over to here. You can see that this data table is pretty easy, pretty quick. And then my drag force for this one was 4.0. And then I, of course, would take 4.0 and divide it by 14.8 to get the mu of my shoe. And of course, you're going to need to do this for your own, so you can get your own numbers. But mine would be 0.27. And then finally, the last one is, again, me. And again, this is right back to where my shoe was to begin with. And so I'm going to put 4 there and 4 there. And then the dragging it on the wood this time gave me 2.8 newtons. So that's quite a bit more friction on the wood, which we would expect since it's wood and it's a lot coarser. And so that gives me a mu of 0.7. And that's basically how you would do this data sheet. And you would do that for 4 other group members. So if you were absent, you'll need to get with 3 other group members to do your own. So I expect to see yours on there, and 4 other people's, which you can copy their data from them as they will have their data sheets back. Okay, if you have any questions on this, give me a holler and in tutorials.